Right, okay, you bloody Jesuits. Don't know really what I mean by that.
She has the weirding lie.
Anyway, listen. So, bit more folk stuff. Do you fancy a bit more folk stuff? A bit more folk stuff for you. So I thought I'd show you a bit more, like before and after. Okay. So, got to shorten the alloys, right? So imagine that much has come off there. You have to re-thread, re-tap, and note that there's also different diameters inside. You have to restore all them, so they have to be all turned back into place, right? Whew. But this means you're going to get a low road height, ride height, or road height works, right? But your suspension is still going to function. But more importantly, you're still going to have full adjustability within the range of the travel of the suspension we've just built. So, let's say at the bottom of your leg here you've got 140mm of chrome showing. Let's keep it layman's terms, right? So we've got 140mm chrome sticking out. We need to be able to adjust that full range of that 140mm worth of travel. And you can't do that if you're just changing like preload adjusters and all that. 'Cause if you're changing preload adjusters, you're changing the amount of tension on the spring. Normally if you're lowering, you're removing preload adjusters. So now you've got a saggy set of forks. As soon as you put it on the ground, that chrome's going to go and half of it's going to disappear up inside the alloy. So we've just lost half of our fault travel. And that half of that adjustability that goes with that half of that travel. Anyway, so listen. This is your standard fork tube. This is the new custom shortened one. Well, I say that, we made this from scratch. You keep the oil holes in the same place. Because the cartridge at the bottom hasn't changed, it's still in its original position. It's the top of the cartridge adjusting rod. Would you call it the adjusting rod? Or the rod that carries the adjusting part? Anyway, you'll see what I mean, I'm going to show you. So, when you manufacture this, or if you're doing this yourself, and you know, some people are set up to do it, the oil hole stays in the same place. So, basically what I have here, shortened one, standard one. If I just put the tops of that cartridge together, you can see the difference in those rods there. I'm not going to get all technical about it. I'm going to go and get all technical about it. Go and look it up on some Wikipedia page. Not what I do here. So yeah, that's the shortened one. Now, big tip. As most of you guys know, I don't like machine thread cutting. Plus, if I cut this in the machine, I'd have to take the actual cartridge out the foot, and once it's set, I don't like to disturb it. I kind of just leave it. Sometimes, you know, they come out easy peasy, and sometimes they don't. So, I've got a special clamp that holds this that I can put into my vise and clamp this up. Then I'll cut this thread. Cut the thread first before you shorten it, right? And before you, so let's say we've added this thread, and now we're going to cut that, we're going to chop that 45mm on, take a nut and put a nut on there first, then cut the thread, then come back, clean your thread up. When you take that nut off, it will clean up that thread, so your thread start will be lovely, and it will go straight into your uppers. Remember, your uppers, as in the fork cap, it's aluminium, right, so it's soft. This is quite a hard steel, so if there's a fight between the two, this one's going to win. And we don't want to do this amount of work to end up doing any cross threading, do we? So this one eventually come out looking quite nice. So I have just cut this one and cleaned this thread up on the end. And there should be a tiny little bit of resistance, yeah, a little bit. And then as I take that off, it actually cleans that thread up. That's ready to go. Now the only thing that's left to do, inside here there's a long fin rod. Okay, it's another part of the adjustment system, whether it's preload or whatever, I can't remember off the top of my head, or rebound or blah blah blah. That's got to go in there, but we're also going to shorten that by 45mm. Also, before I cut them, I measured how much of that rod is sticking out. It's like 15mm, 13mm, something like that. I actually take a photo of it, so it doesn't matter if I forget, which I normally do. But there you are. Hope you're enjoying this, because it's you know, it's really boring shit, man. So that's the lot for today. I'll be putting these together, and when they're fully assembled I'll show you. Unfortunately I don't have a standard fork leg to compare it against. There's probably, well, there's a couple of R6s outside, but they've got the phaser front ends on with the conventional forks, which are actually quite nice forks. I'll screw my face out there, you know. So, enjoy. When I've got them all together, I'll give you a little update. We'll see you later, buds. Ta-da!